Hi there tankers, and welcome to my look at the fairly rare M56 Scorpion tank. It's a tier 7 TD, American. You don't see it an awful lot, mainly because on the EE server it was only sold I think only just for one day in one of those stupid big bundles that Wargaming love to do. And I think on North American server, from what I read, it was available for a little bit longer than that, but obviously I don't have an account there, so I'm not entirely sure. But the reason I bought it was because it was on the I saw it on the test server, and I played a few games there, and I really liked it. It suited my game style, and you know, that's the main reason for buying any tank, and also for I guess grinding any particular line of tanks, is if they suit the style of play that you like. For me, accurate, powerful guns are one of the things I like, and this certainly has that. If you look at this tank, its penetration with its standard round, which is from a 90mm gun, is 219, which is pretty good. 275 with the heat shells and 45 for the HE. Damage 240 and 240 with the two AP and the heat cells, and 320 for the HE. Aim time is a bit slow at 2 seconds, and that's one of the reasons why I use a gun laying drive with this tank. I find that if you don't aim completely, if you take your shot too soon, it can often just go straight into the dirt, and I guess all the nerfs that Wargaming have made to long range shooting hasn't helped this tank particularly. Not that it was available before those nerfs, but it really needs to aim properly. So gun laying drive is something I always put on with this tank particularly. Also the mandatory gun rammer, which you should put on every tank in my view that can carry it anyway, and binoculars, because the view range on this is okay. Standard it's 350, with those binos and this crew gets me up to 458, which is very good, particularly for a tier 7 tank. So if you have to, you can scout for yourself. I wouldn't recommend it. Most TDs, particularly lightweight TDs like these, you want to be relying on your team to spot for you, and you pick apart anybody that they reveal. As I think it's Havoc who's keen to say, you need to make the gun sing, and that's what you need to do with these things. It's a nimble little beastie. It gets around the battlefield pretty well, 45 kilometers an hour speed, and that's primarily because it weighs nothing. 7.5 tons I think is what I've got on this loadout, and you know, as a result, you can relocate very easily in this, which is one of the things you really need to do if you're driving a TD. I see so many people driving TDs, and they get a bush or they find a hill and they sit there, and they sit there, and they sit there, and that's fine if the enemy keep running at you and are very kind to shoot at you and don't spot you, but you're better off firing a few shells, then relocating and keeping an eye on what's going on the map and seeing when you need to move around to support. And sometimes, you know, even in a lightweight tank like this, going aggressive like an assault gun and actually start derping people a bit is what's needed. Again, I wouldn't recommend that early on in the games with this thing, and primarily because its armour is somewhat unique, shall we say. Yeah, you could say unique, I guess. It has a whole 1 millimeter, I'll say that again, 1 millimeter of armour all the way around. So basically, you get hit, it's going to penetrate you. Any HE shells are going to do full damage on you. So you don't want to be hitting this thing. Modules get knocked out, crew will get knocked out. I find particularly the gun gets knocked out. I guess it's a very small target, and the gun is quite a big component to this. That's pretty much all it is, really. So when it gets hit, the gun tends to get knocked out. So I tend to use the large repair kit because, you know, sure as eggs is eggs. If one module like the gun gets knocked out, something else gets knocked out at the same time. So you can replace everything with this. I also carry a large first aid kit for the same reason, because I find that one crew member goes down, generally another one does too, so that allows you to repair them both. And I carry a fire extinguisher, and I kind of initially didn't have a fire extinguisher when the first few games I played in this tank, because your chance of fire isn't that huge. But I was finding that I was getting put on fire, mainly because I guess you were getting hit by HE a lot. So I was finding that occasionally I was burning, and it only carries 820 hit points, this thing. So you get a fire on board, plus the hit that's hit you and probably taken full damage from an HE shell. It's really annoying. So I used to have a small repair kit as well as a large repair kit. But I took the decision to drop that out and use the fire extinguisher, which I think is a good move. Haven't bothered with the automatic one, not sure why. I've got plenty of them, but anyway, whatever. As I say, it's a nice little tank, and I think, you know, it may well come up in the upcoming Advent calendar. I know on North American server it is. May come on the EU one. So, you know, you might want to have a look at it if your playstyle is something who likes to snipe, who likes to take do a lot of damage but at distance, then this is your sort of tank. If you want armour, forget it. And really, you know, I think your primary driver on any tank is you need to look at them very carefully and say, is this something I'm going to enjoy playing? Is it going to be fun? Is it the sort of thing I like to play? You know, if it is, then knock yourself out. Go and get it. I love it. I play, you know, I'm Joe Average player, running sort of 51% at the moment in terms of win rate. It's been better in the last sort of couple of thousand games, that's for sure. But I'm, you know, Joe Average. But even with this thing, I do 56% win rate, a lot of damage. I think maximum damage I've ever done is over 4,000 damage. I've got Radley Waters, countless ace tankers in it. In fact, I think I average an ace tanker every 10 to 15 games. It just suits my style. So anyway, let's have a quick look and see what the gods of wargaming are fair to us, and see what we can get into in a battle. So, Properovka, tier 8. Okay, that's alright, don't mind that. It's a nice open battlefield, a good one for a TD, really. One of the few good ones for TDs. And then teams look fairly even. Just let's see what they've got. I think we've probably got the advantage. I don't use the XVM for telling me how many, you know, what your win rate is, because I find it very depressing when everyone gives up. I'd rather not know. But I do carry the one that shows individual stats of players, so I can see what they're like. So, what I like to do here is to get up towards the hill. It's a fairly ballsy, aggressive move, but I think with the speed that this thing has, you can get up there and start taking pot shots from there. With your visibility and your range, you can see quite a long way. And look at the speed I'm doing here. 45, and I'll go over the top of this hill, get a little bit more on the other side. Yeah, 50, there you go. So it really moves along quite nicely. One thing I didn't say in the garage, but you do have to watch out with this tank that you don't get bumped, because we're having 0 armour. If you even rub up against a heavy tank, you're going to lose a load of health. So be very, very careful when you start off, because everyone tends to sort of turn around all over the place and head off in different directions. Well, you know, you can end up suddenly find you've lost 50, 60 health just like that. So we'll get up here, see if we can get a shot on that tiger. Let the aim come in. 245, very nice. Gonna pull back just in case. So he's disappeared. Gonna move on down. Hope those heavies come and support me. So this is very aggressive positioning, but it's an encounter setup, and I like to have eyes on the cap, and that's why. Because look at that gun. So havoc with people are out of me. Make the gun sing. There's another one out there. Where is he? Missed him that time. See if we can get another T28. Nice shot, and tracked him at the same time. Can we get the kill shot? Is somebody else going to get it? Well, he must have pulled back. So you can see, if you aim properly, you've got a fair chance of doing some serious amount of damage. Snapped at that one, should have waited. T75, yeah, T71. There's a Cromwell there as well. Blimey, they're all coming. Bounced off the Cromwell, you gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna risk it and move forward a bit. See if we can get some eyes on that. As much as anything else, just to clear some terrain. So I just love this gun. It just is accurate. It hits hard. Hello. Oh, bounces. T71 moved, unfortunately, which was inconsiderate of him. Got him. Just love this gun. Tiger as well. So, as I said before, gotta make this gun sing. Missed it. Cromwell's a pain. Not Cromwell, Comet even. Can I get that? T29. No, somebody else got him. Okay. So we've lost the other flank. Pretty much, I think. I've got a very aggressive position here. But I want to be able to have eyes on the cap. It's really important in this kind of setup. Okay. Shoot, missed him. What I didn't mention was the fact your gun arc on this is actually very good as well. You don't have to move the... That was a bad shot. You don't have to move your turret very far. Not that you got a turret, but you know what I mean. The gun has a 45 odd degree angle, which means you can got him. Oh, that was a heck of a shot from there. Like I've been spotted now. Spotted left, front, centre here. So we're going to get back in that bush because we seem to be much happier in there. Spotted again. There's a Tiger down there. Beauty of this game is we haven't got any arty. Arty are a nightmare when you're in this tank. A bit lucky there because I didn't fully aim it. Comet. Spotted there. Need to get rid of that Comet, he's a pain. I can't believe I bounced off him early in the game. So 2,000 damage, we're done. Oh, there he is. Oh, I missed him again. Why is it I can't hit him? And again. Useless shot. Hopefully that LTTB can finish him off. Yes, good. Right. So we know there's a Tiger down there. There he is. He can't see me. I can hopefully get the kill shot. Ah! That's annoying. He's dropped back down behind that gully, which is a real shame because I would like to have killed him. Can I get the jack? Went a bit high that shot. See if I can aim for the lower plate. He's pulling back. Give me a side shot. Yes. Nicely done. Thank you, Mr. LTB. He's dead. Right. Last tank is the IS-3. See if we can get some sneaky shots on him. And there you go. So that's the Scorpion. Oh, I'd run out of shells and I was using premium. Okay, well, that's good. That's another problem I find, that you fire an awful lot of shots at this and you end up running out of shells, frankly. There you go, there's an ace tanker again. I think that's the third today, actually. So let's have a look at the stats. We fired 29 shots, hit 18 of them, 15 penetrations, which is actually a bit low for this tank. I would expect to do more than that. Total damage 3,000. And look at that, virtually all of it was from long range. I think it was only the IS-3 at the very end that was up close and personal. I received 3 hits. Miraculously didn't have any module damage, and which is amazing in this tank. Didn't spot anything, which you wouldn't expect because I was sitting back most of the time. Look at the generation of revenue though, of money. For a tier 7, 80,000 credits. Even after repair costs and resupply, I made, oh, okay, there was a special in our clan happening, but even then, what's that, 66,000 profit. In terms of experience, very nice, 1,700. I'm pretty sure that would have put me, there you go, I was second to that LTTB, who had a cracking game. Look at that, he did 3,000 damage, killed 4, and he also spotted a fair bit, I think. So, overall, mastery, don't know what that one is, fire for effect, okay, irrelevant. So we did a lot of damage, and that's what I mean with this tank. You need to get it in a position where you can fire constantly. I was lucky in that game that there was no arty, which meant I could be very advanced. Use its camo, because it hides quite well. And once you feel the heat pull back, get out of the way. Just peek a little bit, because you're so small that you can hide and just peek over the brow of a hill like that. So yeah, so good game. Thoroughly enjoyed that tank. Really enjoyed playing with it. So if you see it come up for sale again anytime soon, and if you like snipey tanks with 0 armour but a bit of mobility, might want to have a look at it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. This is Gamer Dom. I'll see you again soon.